Hello everyone, welcome to K-Pop Queen for your non-daily reactions to all things K-pop. Okay, today I have a drama shop talk for y'all, okay? I'm gonna be talking about one of my absolute favorite dramas for 2020, even though this came out in late 2019, who cares? I watched it in 2020, so shut up, okay? It's called When the Camellia Blooms. I know you guys have heard of it. You guys have probably seen it as well. If you haven't seen it, I would exit out of this and go and watch this drama. I truly think it is worth your time. I think it's on Netflix, and I'm like, okay, Netflix, you've done it again. You've got a story, you've got the actors, you got me invested, you had me with it, and I'm gonna recommend it to other people. It's a really fantastic and complex story. I mean, you get all aspects that you could possibly want in this story. It's described as a romantic comedy thriller, and that is the case. I think the first scene is the police finding a body. Real talk, I believe that's the first scene. So you're like, okay, this is what it's about. All right, got it, let me get my mind ready. And then you go into the backstory. So interesting aspect about this, it starts off in the future, then it goes back, and then it eventually catches up to where it is in the beginning, and then the story continues. So it really is a great drama. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, recommend it. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's chat about it, okay? It's Drama Shop Talk. Let's go. When the Camellia Blooms. I decided to watch this because everyone was talking about it. I also saw it on Netflix, like the homepage, they're recommending it to me. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna put this on that list because, you know, I'm doing a lot of other things. So let me see what this is about. But the synopsis on Wikipedia is the story of Oh Dong-baek, a single mother who lives or who moves to the fictional town of Ongsang and opens a bar named Camellia. 6 years later, Dong-baek meets playful Young-sik, who declares his love for her. Dong-baek doesn't reciprocate his love, but Young-sik persists in wooing her. When Young-sik's mother finds out about this, she strongly opposes it, as Dong-baek is a single mother with a son. Despite Dong-baek's past lover and father of her child trying to win her back, Young-sik eventually gets Dong-baek to fall for him. Meanwhile, a notorious killer sets out to claim Dong-baek as his next victim, and Young-sik protects her fiercely, doing his best as a policeman and figuring out whom the killer is. So I didn't follow all of the grammar, as in the periods and commas, so forgive me for that if it sounded like a bunch of run-on sentences, but you get the gist of it, okay? That's actually a really good description of what happened. Before you even get to like the whole murder, before you even like, oh wait, there's a murder going on, there's a lot, like there's a town happening, people are living, like they're going through their lives while this man is like plotting this murder against our main character Dong-baek, who's played by Gong Ho-jin. Dong-baek is like, she's not clueless. No, I wouldn't call her that. She seems more of like a pushover, basically. She has been let down a lot in her life, consistently throughout her life, by people, you know, she barely knows, classmates, whatever, and then by people she loves the most, her mother and the father of her child. So when you see her acting like this, it's kind of frustrating. You're like, okay, girl, like, please, like, come on, like, stick up for yourself. And she does what is absolutely necessary when she's pushed to it, but it takes a bit to push her there, right? But when you see why she acts like this, and you see how she's been let down by people, I mean, it is heartbreaking. Truly, there were moments where I was crying because I was seeing the pain that people were inflicting upon her, and all she was doing to these people was just loving them. I mean, it's really, really heartbreaking, her character, her background story, and then seeing her, you know, triumph over these things, deciding to just have a little bit more faith in herself, just sticking up for herself more, not letting all this, you know, rejection get to her, and just really stand up on her own. I mean, it's a really great story to see her come up like that, honestly. And like I said, Gong Ho-jin does such a great job portraying her. I mean, she's so believable. You almost are like, wow, Dong-baek, like, girl, like, I know you. You know what I mean? Like, you're my neighbor. Like, I went to school with you. Like, hold on, come on, girl, pick your chin up. We got to do better, right? And then Kang Han-el as our male lead, I mean, he is also really fantastic. He really does quite a myriad of characters. I just saw him in this movie that's on Netflix as well. I think it's like The Forgotten One or something. Like something for something about being forgotten or something, and it's like a dark thriller. It's really dark. I'm just gonna warn you right now. It has no happy ending. But his character in that is, I mean, so different from Young-sik. I'm like, okay, actor. Like, okay, come on, flavor and taste, let's go. Like, let's show off like how we're able to go through these characters and really do this. But he does such a great job as Young-sik, who is just like this really earnest, young man who just is in love with Dongbek and wants her to know that, and just, you know, wants to be by her side no matter what. And then the two of them together are also really, really good, because when the story begins, and we meet Youngshik and Dongbek and them, like, you know, getting to know each other and realizing, you know, they're in this town together, living together, whatever, he is like immediately infatuated, and is just like, you. And she's like, ew. Literally, she's like, actually, no, that's not gonna work. Goodbye, please leave me alone. And the reason why she's like that, again, goes back to her just being so used to, like, no one wanting her. Like, oh my gosh, she literally, I'm pretty sure she continuously says to him, like, I'm a single mom, like, I have a son. Why would you even like me? And that was something I was ready to fight her on at every possible moment. I'd be watching the drama, I'd be like, girl, yes, you're someone's mother and you're a great mother, but you can also be someone's woman. Like, you ain't gonna act like this. Like, you can have the best of both worlds. You can have your man, you can have your son, you can have another child, you know what I mean? Like, you can live, like, be happy. You have the right to be happy. But it had been ingrained in her so much that, like, she wasn't worthwhile. So she would be like, she would just cut things off whenever it came to sort of a romance in her life. She's like, I'm never going to go through that again, due to the heartbreak that the baby daddy put her through. And let me tell you something. Seeing how the people she loved the most did not reciprocate that love back to her, I mean, it took the breath out of me. It really took the breath out of me. Realizing that Dongbek isn't an orphan because her parents died, but because her mother dropped her off at an orphanage when she was like probably 8. So of course she remembers it so vividly. When you watch that scene, I mean, my mouth dropped open. It was horrifying. I was like, oh, this is why you're like this. Like, you remember your mother abandoning you, and you remember her telling you not to tell anyone who your parents are or what your name is. You remember all of that. Like, that, come on. Wait. Then you also see the backstory of the mother and her struggles. Not only just trying to raise this girl that she really loves with all her heart, but also just trying to live, you know what I mean? Like, be like, I'm trying to provide for my daughter, I'm trying to provide for myself, and I cannot even do that. So we learn about the mother's backstory and why she did that. And it's, all I can say is that it's hard. It's very, very difficult, because you're just kind of like, how could you put your child through that? But then you also see her story and you're like, wow, she didn't want to put her child through this anymore. She wanted her child to live and thrive. And if that meant without having her mother take care of her, then that's just what it's going to have to be. So we get into some really complex storylines, some really complex shit in this drama as well. So let me talk about some of my favorite moments in this drama. And there are a lot of them, so I'm not going to even tell y'all all of them. I'm going to leave it a really big one because I want y'all to watch it for yourself. And when you do, I want you to comment and tell me what it is. I'm sure you're gonna find out. So one of my favorite moments is when the town first meets Dongbek. She moves to Ongsong with her son. She moves into this, you know, area. She's gonna turn into a bar. And when she starts moving in her stuff, the town sees her, and literally the director says, we're gonna do a freeze frame. And they freeze everyone and everything. So if something's flying in the air, it's frozen. If you're moving, you're frozen. The town literally freezes at the presence of Dongbek. And I was like, yes, okay, great, portray her beauty. Let everyone know how stunning she is. The whole town froze up. They shook at the sight of her, and they literally are. That's also why they're kind of mean to her. It's really fucking annoying. I'm like, you guys don't need to be this insecure, but okay. They love her, they do. She's one of them, but they still mean to her. It's not okay. Anyway, so it freezes, right? And then she brings down a baby stroller and she picks up Pilgu as a little baby, and then the town unfreezes because they're like, oh, she's not available. She has a husband. Okay, great. Like, literally. That's like how it is. It's like, oh, wow, okay, stunning woman. Oh, there's the baby, the husband. Okay, all right, I'll continue on with my life. Another moment that I really, really loved is when, this moment for me, I cried a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know what episode it is as well. It is episode 6, or AKA ep 5, ep 11, ep 12, because they're split up in half an hour. So it's 40 episodes, 40 half an hour episodes, or you could do 20 long, you know. But, episode 6, Okay, it is when Young-sik finds out that it is Dongbek's birthday. She doesn't talk about herself at all. She had her birthday created for her at the orphanage, had a name and everything created for her as well, because again, her mother told her to not tell them about that stuff. So he finds out about her real birthday, I believe, and he sets up, or maybe it was the fake one, I don't really remember. Anyway, he finds out about her birthday. He sets up this whole thing in the back of her bar. It's like rose petals everywhere, candles everywhere, a cake, you know, basically like, and I think he leaves like a little note or like something on the cake, and it basically just sums up how he feels about her. He's like, you're the best thing that ever happened, you're such a great mom, you're so beautiful, you know, I love you. Like basically really nice sentiments. And homegirl, literally, she's like, now why the fuck would you, now why would you go and do that? She's so annoyed, but at the same time she loves it, because now she's beginning to realize like, oh, this man really likes me, and ooh, I kind of like him too. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. Like, that's not how I imagined my life, right? So that moment for me, I was like, this is such a great moment of like earnest Young-sik. He is like, he's so infatuated. He doesn't care who knows. He's gonna tell the whole world, you know, and her, and he just wants everyone to know how he feels about her. So I really love, again, just his really earnest moments. Yes. Another favorite moment, which ties in with the whole birthday moment, is when Young-sik, okay. As I said, Dongbek is really stunning, so all the men in the town really like her, even though they're married. So they all go to her bar to like hide from their wives and their family, and they harass her, which let me show up in town and let me make sure that that doesn't happen to anyone, right? So there's one particular person, his name is Gyute. He's like really rich. He owns all the buildings and stuff, and he's like a friend of a mayor, friend of the cousin of the mayor or something like that. Anyway, he likes to think he's very important, but he's not, right? And because of his pride and all this self-importance, he harasses Dongbek a lot. So Young-sik is like sick of it, like really sick of it, not just because he likes Dongbek, but also because it's like, Gyute, like you're married, like stop being a fucking creep, you know? And he's like harassing Dongbek, and then Dongbek like stands up for herself. She's like, you need to leave, stop, pay for this, and get out of here, right? And he is like belligerent. He's drunk. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I own this shit and I own you, basically, you know, like all that sort of shit, right? And so Young-sik fights him. He fights him and is like, Dongbek told you to get the fuck out of here. If you don't want to listen, then come meet me, you know, like that sort of shit, right? So because that he fights him, and he's a police officer, did you forget that? He's a fighting police officer. He like has to go to the station, whatever. They like bring him down, and he's like, why are you trying to fight Gyute? Like, you can't be doing this. Like, why are you doing this? And he won't say anything to sort of protect Dongbek, because the whole town already thinks that like, oh, she's so pretty, she's so wily, like she's seducing all the men at her bar. That's why they go there. You know, they have this whole image of her. They talk down to her and stuff as well. And so he doesn't say anything to sort of like keep her out of this, and he's just kind of like, you know, whatever, I just, you know, I lost it, sorry, right? And Dongbek like doesn't want to go down to the police station and tell them what Gyute has been doing this whole time. She wants to live in peace. That's her whole thing. She's like, I want peace. If I have to turn a blind eye into something, if I have to let these people treat me this way, then fine. But if it means that I can have peace in my life, then that's just what it is. Even though, does she really have peace in her life? No. But that's just how she thinks, right? So then they're at the police station. She goes to the back, and that's when she sees the whole birthday situation, that whole setup. And then she's just kind of like, you know what? Fuck, fine. I will go down to the police station. So she goes down to the police station, and she has a whole ledger, years and years and years and years and years of recorded stuff that Gyute has been doing to her. Moments when he won't pay for things, when he touches her, when he harasses her. She has it written down for years. And she's like, I'm pressing charges today. Young-sik didn't do anything. He was just trying to protect me, right? And they have this moment in the police station, and Young-sik's like, oh my gosh, Dongbek, like you had this whole thing this whole time. And she's like, oh, why did you fight him? Like, you didn't have to do that. Like, are you okay? And they have this little moment where they just start like holding each other and crying, like they're holding hands and they're crying. And all you can see is Young-sik's mother, who's also in the town. She sees it and she's like, damn it, these two are gonna be together, fuck. Like, everyone just kind of sees like how connected they are, you know? It's just like this moment where they're like, obviously they're gonna fight for each other, they're gonna fall in love. You cannot break this bond that they have between each other. So that's one of my favorite moments as well. Really touching, cried. Another one of my favorite moments is when Young-shik stands up for Pilgu. So Pilgu is actually also a baseball player, just like his father. He's very, very good. He is such a tough and resilient boy. He's so, so smart, and he doesn't take shit. Wow, that little boy, that little boy be fighting. Let me tell you something. Some boy said something crazy about his mom to him, and he punched him in the face. And I was like, okay, yes, like, all right, shoot her for our mom. I live, right? But Pilgu is like at the baseball game, and Dongbek decides to go for the first time and not be ashamed of being like a single mother. Like, she's like, this is my son. Like, I'm going to root for him, you know? She doesn't want her son to be, you know, made fun of because she's a single mother. Like, she really just wants peace in his life. I mean, I just told you, some kid said something crazy about her and her son fought him. So that's why she don't be going to his games. So she went this one time, and Pilgu is up at bat, and, you know, he's just gonna play or whatever, you know? What's the person behind the bat? That's the pitcher. Yes. The referee? What you call that? That man behind the people when they batting? Anyway, that man keeps calling the pitcher's throws as strikes instead of balls, even though they should just be balls, and Pilgu should walk after that fourth one. And so Pilgu looks over at that pitcher boy, and he like sticks his tongue out at him like, nah, 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 like, I got you. You know, that sort of like nasty little shit. So Pilgu goes to fight him. I told you, that little boy fights. So he went to go fight him. He punches him and the pitcher start fighting. And it's a whole brawl, basically. So Dongbek is like in the stands like, ay, 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 you know, like, oh my gosh, my son is fighting, like, what's going on, right? And so she tries to like go down to the field and like talk to them and like get it straightened out. But Young-shik gets there and is like, hey, your little pitcher boy is hitting my boy, and I don't appreciate it. He's the one that's teasing him. He's the one that's doing all of this. Like, he's being nasty. And they ask him, they're like, wait, is this your son? And he's like, yeah, actually he is. What are you gonna do about it? And when he claimed him like that, I was like, oh my God. Like, yes, like, are you even really dating his mom? Okay, maybe not. I'm sort of, I think, at this point, but it's not like a, you know, they're just, you know, they're together, but we're still figuring things out, right? So the pitcher and his dad is the baseball coach for the other team, by the way, are like, you know, fighting, you know, they're saying all these things, they're like, you don't have any proof, like, come at me. And Young-shik is like, actually, I do have proof. I was the one flying this drone. Let's check the tape. Roll the tape is what he says, pretty much, to prove that this little pitcher boy's been throwing balls and he's been teasing Pilgu and that they shouldn't be counted as strikes. So Dongbek like watches this whole scene happen, and of course she's like, yeah, like, you know, she's really happy about it. And it's just like a really cute and touching moment because Young-shik not only really is into Dongbuk, but he also pays a lot of attention to her son. Like, he really treats him as if this boy is his own, you know? Like, even before he started, you know, liking Dongbuk and like trying to win her affection, he would stand up for Pilgu. He'd be like, oh, you know, I'm here, like, do you want to go to the arcade? Like, what do you need? Let me hold your backpack. Like, he would talk to him like a real human being. Like, he really respected Pilgu throughout this whole thing. He really treated him like a person, which is honestly, I think a lot of people just ignore other people's kids and they're like, well, I'm not with you, kid, I'm with your mom. But that's not how that works. Okay, so Young-shik really was like, if I'm gonna be with your mom, then I'm obviously gonna be, you know, this figure in your life. Let me get to know you. Let me see how you feel about me. Let's chat. Like, I know I only talked about the leads, but there are some amazing second and ancillary characters. I mean, guys, you need to watch this. Like I said, you get to find out about Dongbek's mom. You get to find out about her baby daddy and how he is really just not that great. I mean, a really awful person. It's astounding. You get to see what's been happening in the baby daddy's life as well. I mean, he got married and he had another kid, you know? And, you know, you see all of that. You learn about his wife. I mean, you just learn about the family. You learn about really just how tough life can be and how difficult people make it, you know? You see Dongbek's friends, and oh yeah, there's a murder as well. Wow. Wow! Didn't talk about the murder, but that's on purpose. I want you guys to figure that out for your own and see how it like fits in with the whole story. So go ahead and watch that. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. I definitely think you guys should watch it if you haven't watched it already. Comment below with your thoughts about the drama. I really want to hear, because I have only positive things to say. Honestly, it is one of my favorite dramas. So maybe if you didn't like it as much, you can comment below, tell me why. If you did, comment below, tell me why, tweet at me, whatever, and I'll be back with another video. Bye, guys.